podcast called Gerard Brooklyn Dre. J-Rob is in the building. How you doing, fellas?
What up? What up?
Good.
What up?
All right, y'all. We're going to talk about this whole thing with Deion Sanders. Brittney Griner got released. And we just want to touch on these topics. How you doing, fellas?
Yeah, everything's good. Ready to get it in.
All right, let's go ahead with old Deion. Went ahead and made the switch. Dre and I had this conversation before, and when he first took the job, you kind of alluded to the fact that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I did say he probably jumped ship. After he got in and was doing what he was doing, I thought he was going to hold it down, because he was talking that, ownership garbage that, they do and, leadership and, how he was going to make boys into men and all this other stuff like that. And I can't knock Deion because he always been a pretty solid dude. I've never seen him really make too many mistakes. I mean, after going a year or so in there, I thought he was going to hold up his end of the bar and try to raise up the SWAC conference.
Let me ask you a quick question before we even continue. What's the difference between a coach and a pimp?
I don't know, but I'm curious to see where it's going.
What I'm saying is the way that he talks, it's the same thing. It's all about motivating and getting the best out of your people and having them do what maybe they're not able to do. You know what I'm saying? So the way I'm looking at Deion right now is, hey man, you know a pimp when you hear it. You know what it is.
The man,
I'm not surprised.
Money was the catchphrase.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Why are we surprised?
Must be the money.
Must be the money. Yeah, that was the catchphrase, man.
That's what it is. It's always been. Remember, Deion was the first. He was the first athlete that I remember that was really wearing jewelry. That was really like stunting, and he was real flamboyant. And he talked about it. He always had a good talk game. Again, coaches and pimps, they get you to believe in the collective. And push through.
He pimped this whole situation. That's what you're saying, J-Rob.
That's what I.
That's the thing that I was thinking, man, is because now you're looking at it from a whole different perspective. I forget what the deal he got with Colorado State.
Yeah.
So the problem with his whole thing is that he sold everybody on the fact that he was going in there trying to change the SWAC conference and trying to make it where it's like, raise it up to, it's a place where, Black children want to go. And now it kind of looked like he kind of took the easy route to the college ranks.
$29.5 million, gentlemen. 29.5.
Yeah, he was only getting $300,000 at JSU. Like if it was IBM or Microsoft or Google, and he was getting paid, a lower salary somewhere else, and he transferred to one of these companies, nobody would say anything.
Well, see, I don't have a problem with him doing it. But I think the problem that most people have with him is that what he said his initial goal was. His initial goal was to bring people to the SWAC. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, after what he just did, I think he's going to kill the SWAC. He's definitely going to kill Jackson State. He's taking his son with him and from what I understand, he's taking some of the top recruits and he's taking them to Colorado State.
Yeah. He
told Colorado State in the joint, basically, y'all need to get in the mix. Yeah. Some of y'all might have to put your name back in the pool.
And the transfer portal, get up out of here.
Yeah,
I'm bringing my squad as he should. If you got a squad of executives that rock with you at this one job, there's one place of employment, and you get a better deal somewhere else, you might take a couple people that was a couple solid people that know what they're doing and take them over there with you. I don't understand why it's such a big deal when it's Black people that's doing this thing.
Well, I think, again, it's not really that. If he did that and he was in, let's say, for instance, if he was at Michigan State, I don't see where that would be a problem. That's just business. But I think what happens is when you go into a historically Black university, his problem is not what he's doing. His problem, what he said his goal was. His goal was to straighten out the SWAC. He's going to kill the SWAC. He's going to kill it.
We believe that pimp when he was talking that talk. Got his money and he out.
Sounded nice and smooth and greasy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you even one thing that I believe even deeper than that, man. I think he did something and he laid something down and he laid down a heck of a blueprint. Whereas I think that the millions that he's taking right now is short money. You know what I mean? I think if he was able to do what he can do and he can show that to some other guys that
maybe he can possibly help out.
This the thing though. For Deion, I just think that we forget that he got a kid with aspirations of going to NFL. His priority is to them and his family. It's not to the masses. His priority is to take care of his family and do I'm not saying that what he said ain't genuine. It probably was genuine. That's what actually makes a good conveyor of information is when the stuff that you're saying is genuine. Although you may do something later that is contrary to that, it's actually genuine. And I do believe that he believed in his message, but when the time came, he gotta get this money.
I think he can kind of hurt his son though.
You think so? How so?
I think his son.
Ain't no way.
Watch what I'm gonna say. His son, right, in the SWAC. If he stayed 4 years in the SWAC, I could guarantee you, because he's Deion's son, I don't think it would be no reason else. If he stayed 4 years in the SWAC and he's successful, what's going to happen to him is he'll go first round in the draft. That's a guarantee.
No, he won't.
I think he'll go first round in the draft.
Level competition.
I think because he's a Heisman Trophy. He was a Heisman Trophy candidate.
No, he's not. He's not even a Heisman Trophy candidate.
I thought he was a Heisman Trophy candidate.
They talked about it because it sound good. Yeah, mention him, you know what I mean? But nobody from the SWAC has ever even come close to winning a Heisman Trophy.
No,
now,
I'm not saying...
at Colorado next year, if he ball out, his name will be top. And he will go number one in the draft.
I think that's something also, too, that's going to be kind of different. I don't think what he did in the SWAC he's going to do in Colorado State. I mean, I think that's – I'm not saying that if he's great, if he's great, he's great. It's going to show no matter what. But I don't think what he's going to do there is going to be the same thing that he's going to do at Colorado State. I don't think that Deion's going to do the same thing that he did at Jackson State at Colorado State, man. It's going to be a different ball, but that's a whole different thing. But at the end of the day, like I'm saying, his point is I think he's killed historically black university football. I think it kills it. And I thought he was going to come in there and he laid the blueprint down so good that I thought that their whole goal was like, all right, well, let me get in here, get Jackson State rocking. Then maybe I can start making money off of paraphernalia. Maybe I can start making money off of building an arena and something like that. Because they had like a arena style thing going on at Jackson State. You know what I mean?
But he did that.
You know what I mean?
Deion did that. Deion went to Walmart and got him the sponsorship.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. He laid the blueprint down. So I'm thinking that it's not going to be a plan that's going to make him the money that he's making right now at Colorado State in overnight. This was the whole thing that he was selling. It's a boss. I'm going to be a boss and all that other stuff like that. And I'm going to take charge. And this is where we're going with it. You're really not a boss. What you did was you took the short money and you went like everybody else did.
Jackson, Mississippi ain't got clean water. Why wouldn't you leave? I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
you risking your family's life staying there. Just saying.
No, listen, man. Everything that you're saying is right. It's not that it's not right. It's his problem is his initial saying of what he's going to do. It's just like me coming in and telling you, like, yeah, we in here for this black power right thing. We coming in here, we laying our foot down, we putting boots on the ground, we not leaving till we get answers and all the other stuff like that. And then I walk up in here and I get in front of somebody and say, hey man, take $40 million and go back outside there and tell everybody else that you good. That's really that's really how it went. That's really how it went. The struggle is over. You know what I mean? That's really how it went, man.
The brothers got jobs.
He went. What's that like? Hey, remember? I'm gonna get you, sucker. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna say it's like I'm gonna get you, sucker. He was like, yeah. The brothers walked in here to protest. He said they walked in here with protest signs and walked out with job applications. That's what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what's funny about it? Say what you did. Don't try to justify it. Just say, listen, if he got what, 29 million, whatever it is, $20 million or whatever the case may be.
29.5.
I don't know his financial situation.
Yeah.
Maybe he can't turn down 29.5. I would respect him if he just said, yo, man, 29.5 is on the table. I can't turn it down. I'm an old man. I'm not making that kind of money no more. I can't turn it down. But don't come in here and try to tell me, like, yeah, all right, I planned this from the beginning. Get the heck out of here. Come on, man. You sold out, accepted and rolled, man. You know what I mean? And Deion usually he always had a solid heart, man. He always been good in the community.
And that's the thing. I believe that his intentions were good with Jackson State, and he put them on the map, and he got them good facilities, so where they should be able to, at least keep up. You know what I mean? But
he can't. He took all the players with him.
Go get some more players.
Yeah, come on, man. You know how recruiting go, man. They started from the bottom right now, man.
Yeah, hey, they
got a nice facility and no players, man.
Yeah. Hey, they might gotta grab some cats off of Colorado, man.
Yeah, man.
They gonna be in the transfer portal.
Yeah, man. Well, them white people they transfer now.
And plus, like if with the NIL, like who knows what they be able to do if they able to get those sponsorships to actually bring good players over there. They have good facilities now, so players they want to be able to work out and live and be able to play in a decent facility. So it might actually work out for them.
I doubt it, man. I doubt it. I mean, my personal opinion is that again is he did what he did, man. You know what's the funny part about it is that black people, right? This is the funny thing. Like I listen to black people talk about this, and like I listen to you talking about it, and even you recognize, you just say, "Yo, listen, like he just pimped the system." That's what he did. That's what he did. But then there's other people that get on here and be like, "Oh my gosh, no, Deion is such a great guy." No, he went there, he hustled the system. He got up out of there, man. Just call it what it is, man. Stop trying to uphold him in everything he do, man. He did wrong, man. He did wrong, but then he, like you said,
his obligation is to his family.
Yeah, I mean, at the end
you know
of
what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, yeah.
At the end of the day, although he was coaching those other kids, his first priority is his son. You know what I'm saying? And when he got a chance to go to the NFL and be a number 1 draft pick, that's his first priority.
Well, again, I think it's all selfish of what he done in regards to that. I mean, his son was a baller anyway in high school. No. When I say
nobody, you can't name me one player in the last 5 years that came from HBCU.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that if his goal and whatever is his son, I think what he's doing has a lot of selfish things into it as a father. Like I would have never, me myself personally, if I was going to take on a job at Jackson State and I'm Deion Sanders, I would have never sent my son to the HSBCU. I would have never let him play with me. I would have sent him to D1. If that's your goal of getting the NFL and play NFL football, you need to go play with the big boys. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. I wouldn't have let him come to Jackson State, waste a year at Jackson State playing around, and then go try to, get into the.
No, his son been there at least 2 years.
Oh, however long.
Yeah.
However long.
I mean, I think he did right because maybe he knew his son wasn't quite ready, but if he can polish him up against this competition,
I think his son was wasn't his son ranked like number 1 in the country or something like that? Yeah. Coming out of high school. So I mean, you got to throw him in the pit. If your goal was to get your son in the NFL, this is what I think he did personally. Mm-hmm. He did everything for his own personal game. Man, and I'm not saying he loves his son, obviously, I believe, but I think also too, he brought his son into Jackson State because he knew that Jackson State and himself coming there would be able to get the recruits and everything like that. Everybody coming to see Deion. So they did what they did. They built it up, whatever case may be. And now he got himself into a position where he can do coaching. He didn't have to go, because if he came straight out of where he was at, Deion Sanders coming out of coaching high school football and all the other stuff like that, he wasn't going straight to Colorado State getting $29 million coming out the gate. Even Deion Sanders is not getting that. So what he did was he went the back door. He hustled the whole program. So I mean,
hey, pimp juice.
It's what it is, man.
Pimp juice. All right, so we're gonna go into Dr. Umar's comments he made about the situation on the Breakfast Club, and he, as he put it, he had more lashes for Deion, I guess, for some stuff that prior happened. Look, I'm not doing any context. I'm gonna go ahead and play the clip. Yeah, and then we'll get your commentary on the fellas. Here we go.
When Deion Sanders stood against Colin Kaepernick's protest in 2016, I branded him a Negro peon.
He did?
Yes, he did. He said he did. I saw him say it out his mouth on an interview. He said he should not have taken that knee. It was wrong. Deion Sanders. I put him in the Negro peon camp because he didn't stand with Colin Kaepernick. When I heard Deion Sanders was taking the job, I said, okay, I'm going to give him his black pass back. Because here you are, one of the top 5 greatest athletes, arguably the greatest football player ever, including Tom Brady. Deion could go down as greater than. You go to Jackson State, HBCU. That's impressive. Now I hear all of a sudden you might be leaving.
Well, so he's leaving. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. Stay with me. Mm-hmm. He's wrong. But I have 2 levels of wrong. Mm-hmm. I got a low level and I got a high. I'll explain them to you quickly. My low level. If Deion told the administration and the students and the players at Jackson State that I'm taking this job, but I need y'all to know, if something better comes along, as soon as it comes along, I may be leaving you.
He did say that.
He said that.
If he was that transparent, I didn't see that.
I played the clip the other day. He said it on 60 Minutes. He said that.
No, he said he may be leaving. He did not say he was leaving after 3 years.
No, he said that if a Power 5 school comes along,
yes.
I have to entertain it. I would be a fool not to. And Deion has
That's
always
not
been
the same.
No, Deion has always been transparent and open about what his goals were.
That is not. No, I disagree with you. He told them if it comes his way, he would have to entertain it. He never said I would leave you that soon. He never said I can be gone in 3 years.
What does it matter, though? His contract was
I'm going to tell you why it matters. I'm about to tell you right now why it matters. Because he damn wrong.
I think the reason why, and I could be wrong, but I just saw that interview like a few weeks ago or something like that. So what they're saying,
you're referring to? Which one?
The interview with 60 Minutes with Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
That interview was just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
came on before the game.
Yeah. So I don't know what he told Jackson State when he initially signed on. But that interview right there was just a few weeks ago. So, I mean, I'm quite sure while he's talking to 60 Minutes, that deal was on the table.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You know what I mean? With Colorado State. That was only about a few weeks ago.
It
was already on the table.
He actually probably, in his mind, is putting everybody on notice. Like, yo, they looking at me. And if the right numbers come, I'm going to go ahead and slide.
Well, not to mention now, that makes sense for that interview now.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He was putting the cushion together already.
Yeah.
Like just in case when I find out, you know, so now like you got stupid stuff like this where Charlamagne is saying, oh well, he already told them. Yeah, all right, man. He told us to 60 Minutes about 2 weeks ago.
It's a preemptive strike. Just to let you know that.
So he got prepared for it or whatever the case may be. So yeah, you can keep it going.
If I'm not mistaken, I think we might even had a conversation where it was like, I hope he stay. I hope he don't leave. I hope it ain't the job that he want, so he will stay. You know what I'm saying? Because we thought he was actually doing good.
Well, again,
and he was doing good for them kids.
He did a great job, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. I think what killed me on the whole thing is that I think the long-term goal with that situation could have end up into some big money for a lot of African American people, not to mention the university. It kind of remind me of baseball. Like, you know, a lot of people look at that whole thing with Jackie Robinson going to the major leagues, like it was a good thing. But people forget at that time, Negro League Baseball was probably one of the biggest black businesses at that time. You understand? So when Jackie Robinson actually went to Major League Baseball, he killed Negro League Baseball.
Right.
There was a lot of major millionaires at that time that was making money off of Negro League Baseball. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's something. I look at it as like I think that could have been something that they could have raised up and could have, a couple of big people who had some money could have looked at that and say, "Yo, Deion already laid the blueprint. What is he doing over there? He went over there. He made a new facility. He got rappers coming out to the game. He got these. You know what I mean? He got stuff where these kids like." They're coming there because they like what he's doing. Now, the next person that got some money or Michael Irvin or one of them, they could do the same thing in another black university. You know what I mean?
But what about the kid? What about the kid that signed up or who's on that team right now? And Deion just pretty much jumped.
Yeah, like you sat
there and you know what I mean? And the next person that come in is not Michael Irvin, and whoever's not going to do what Deion.
You got to get in the transfer portal. It's a new rule. If your coach leave, you can leave. Get in the transfer portal.
Well, but everybody can't go with you, brother.
He kills the.
They can go somewhere else though. They don't have to stay there. If it's that big of a deal, they don't have to stay there.
He killed the kids all around because imagine, right? A kid you sat in the mom living room and talk about that whole thing. I'm gonna make him a man in 3 years and all this other stuff like that. Now this kid is probably a freshman here. Probably Deion ain't nowhere around. He might even had the opportunity to go to D1.
Transfer. You got the transfer portal. You can always transfer.
Yeah, but a lot of times there, like as well as I know, as far as college football, you're only good as your last game. If this kid been sitting on the bench because he's a freshman or whatever the case may be in Jackson State, he ain't getting no D1 offer. Ain't nobody taking him over there.
If he's sitting on the bench at Jackson State, he don't deserve a D1 offer.
No, but he might have been a kid. Like how freshmen start out. They might be nice, but they might be underdeveloped as far as their body is concerned. This is football. They ain't basketball. Basketball, you come in, you nice. Yeah, football ain't that way.
I figure HBCU, like, you come out there and ball out as a freshman. I mean, not to take no shots at HBCUs, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, basketball and football and even baseball, two different. All of them is different sports. Like, if you're nice at baseball, you're just nice from day one. You're nice at basketball, you're nice at day one. Football, you might be nice, man, but you might be 50 pounds too light to get out here with us. You know what I mean? We might have to put some meat on you or whatever the case may be. You know how it is. They get them on that steak diet or something like that.
You know what I mean?
In order to get
little red shirt.
I don't know, but
you can take a red shirt season. Go ahead, transfer. Get your weight up. You be all right. They be all right. Them kids will be all right.
Yeah, let me tell you something about them kids, man. A lot of them kids are sitting there like, man, because we thinking about it as grown men. Them is kids, man. They're like, man, this dude done got me here. I'm sitting here stranded. I don't know what I'm doing. Not to mention, what is going on with the cats in Colorado State where he just told me to get back in the portal.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, listen.
I'm bringing my guys with me. He said he's bringing his guys with him.
That's crazy, man. He killing them kids, man. Go ahead. You can finish the joint.
No, there's nothing to finish, man. We're going to actually move on to the next subject, man. So Deion got the bag. He gone. Gone. That's all we need to know.
Yeah. He did them kids dirty, man. Hey, let me tell you something. Jackson State, I'm going to be looking to see.
He did them kids a favor, man. They ain't got clean water. They got to get them out of there.
Keep your foot on the water.
They risking their lives out there trying to play out there like that.
Next time, what he should do is just tell the people the truth, man.
Just tell them the truth. All right, so listen, we're going to move on to...
I got the bag. I'm gone.
We're going to move on to this other situation here with Brittney Griner. Got swapped. She got released from prison. She was in a penal colony up in Russia, of course, for weed charge, but probably would have just got a misdemeanor here in the States, but apparently that's a big no-no in Russia. So
that's the worst trade since Babe Ruth, man.
Yeah, she got a swap for a known arms dealer. Arms dealer. What is it, Victor?
This guy like a real life super James Bond super villain type guy.
Yeah, Captain America on him or something like this is real crazy. All right, so
Thanos. Thanos, man.
They got a space station somewhere or whatever. But anyway. Yeah, it's a prison swap. It's already done. And here, J-Rob, here is a clip from CBS News.
CBS's Weijia Jiang will start us off tonight from the White House. Good evening, Weijia.
Good evening to you, Nora. U.S. officials who traveled with Brittney Griner said she appeared to be in good health on the flight, describing her as gracious and happy. As for Putin's suggestion that even more Americans could come home, the White House is treating those words with more caution than optimism. After a grueling stint in a Russian prison, doctors are evaluating Brittney Griner at Brooke Army Medical Center in San Antonio. She landed in Texas this morning.
She has been reunited with her wife, Sherelle. U.S. officials who met her on the ground said she was in very good spirits, appears to be in good health.
For the first time, a glimpse into Griner's life behind bars, doing hard labor and sleeping in a bed far too tiny for her 6'9" frame. Griner's lawyer told ESPN that she chopped off her signature dreads because it was so frigid, her hair froze. Marine veteran Paul Whelan, imprisoned in Russia since 2018 on what the U.S. calls sham espionage charges, was not part of the exchange, which freed convicted arms dealer Viktor Bout, known as the Merchant of Death.
The Merchant of Death.
First of all, Paul Whelan is pissed right now. I'm pretty sure because he's been in it for 4 years.
And he's a military guy. He was out there serving his country. He just wasn't over there hooping.
You would figure that the exchange for somebody like Viktor Bout, was it Bout? Am I saying it correct? Like you would think that an exchange like that will, like, look, man, I'll trade you 2 for 1. 2 for 1, right?
Yeah.
We got to get Paul off the bench. You know, take one of your starters, and we'll give you this guy. But I mean, let's just give a background on who Victor is.
Mr. Bout.
Not only do they call him the Merchant of Death, they call him the Sanctions Buster.
Sanctions Buster. So look, let's just give a background on this.
You got a trade embargo. I'll take care of that.
Yeah. I got that. Don't even worry about it.
I got that covered, man.
It's a reason this man was released. Let's just look and, listen, this is coming by way of Reuters, y'all. Telling you that he spent like 14 years in a U.S. jail for arms trafficking, money laundering, and conspiring to kill Americans. So that's just some of the stuff that he's done.
You know the sad part about this, man? What did they say? His sentence was 25 years?
Yeah.
It says his sentence is 25 years, and we all know people in jail has done much less for more and got more time.
Yeah, it has. So check this out. The Merchant of Death, who was the Russian arms dealer Viktor Bout. This is coming from France 24, y'all. Listen to this.
Viktor Bout, one of the world's most infamous arms dealers, has been released from U.S. custody as part of a prisoner exchange with U.S. basketball star Brittney Griner. A Russian citizen, he was arrested in Thailand in 2010 and later extradited to the U.S. He was sentenced to 25 years imprisonment in 2012 for conspiring to sell tens of millions of dollars in weapons to be used against American citizens.
What happened to me here was not justice. It wasn't inquisition. I was not condemned for what I had done, but for the action they invented and believed in.
Bout, a former Soviet Air Force pilot, also stands accused of trafficking weapons across several continents, including Eastern Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. His notoriety even inspired the Hollywood film Lord of War, starring Nicolas Cage, in which the anti-hero escaped justice. Nevertheless, Russia has always sought to defend Viktor Bout.
I consider this extradition to be an unprecedented pressure on the judicial process and on the Thai government. This story is an example of extreme injustice, but our country will continue to support Viktor Bout by all means.
According to several experts, Viktor Bout holds several secrets regarding Russia's military and the former KGB.
All right, gentlemen, that is Viktor Bout.
Bout assisted in getting the Taliban their arms. So you already know what type of time this guy is on.
Where do you think it goes from here? I mean, because you pretty much just released a person that conspired, allegedly, I guess, he was convicted of it, to kill Americans.
I tell you what it does to you about how strong that LGBTQ community is. How in the world did they get her out of jail? Isn't that crazy?
Why is the other guy still there?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? They're strong, man. There's probably black people and Mexicans and Hispanic Americans locked up in prisons all around.
There's a lot of people locked up abroad, but it's just
this thing for me for Brittney, right? It's not like she was innocent. She did it.
Yeah, she did it.
Yeah, like, come on, man.
How big does a celebrity play a part in all of this? Because
I didn't even know who she was. Maybe I don't watch WNBA. Like that.
I mean, I've heard the name several times. I mean, and this is no disrespect to the WNBA, but you know what I mean? Like, so
I mean, I did see a drop step baseline and dunk on somebody though. Like,
there's some NBA players that ain't gonna get out of jail.
Yeah, right.
Well,
you know what I mean? If they get locked up over there for the same foolishness, man.
In other news, and I'm not quoting it, directly. He said it. But the Trumpsters said this was a bad deal.
For anybody, this is a bad deal.
It's a bad deal.
This is like a joke. It's like a skit. Like, yeah, we're gonna release this basketball player for this notorious arms dealer.
Yeah, because she got a wicked drop stat.
But you leave the military man still stranded there for.
Yeah, he must be sitting there like ticked off. Like,
I wish I would have dribbled.
Crap, man.
Give me a ball. Let me see if I can dribble.
He probably working out right now, man.
Sorry, Jay, you worked up to this one.
Probably working on this pivot right now, man.
Oh, that's jacked up.
I can see if she could shoot like Steph Curry. She can't even shoot.
So while this chick was out here playing in the park, I was out here risking my life day and night, man. And now this dude is going home.
Some trumped up espionage charges on, from his.
It's sad, man.
But
stay out of Russia unless you gay, man.
No, actually, They were saying that could have played. That's messed up. But that actually.
You ain't coming back home. You're not coming back home.
Well, they're saying that's one of the things that could have, worked against her in Russia was the fact that she. I'm sorry. That she identifies with the LGBTQ community. That they was like that wasn't going to work out for you. You know what I mean? So,
man. Don't you go over there.
And I didn't even notice.
Go over there if you black and heterosexual. You better stay out of there.
I didn't even notice that she cut her dreads off until I saw the joint. I thought she just had them in a ponytail.
No, I actually thought when I first seen the pictures of her, I thought that they cut it. Like on some,
they broke it down.
Yeah.
I thought they would have did that anyway because it's a penal colony.
Yeah. They said that she cut it because she was cold.
Wait a minute. I mean, let's be real. She didn't cut anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure they're not allowing you access to scissors and razors. Penal colony.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, but
hey, listen, that Russian prison, I watched Locked Up Abroad. They ain't no joke, man. They different, man.
Russians look at it.
They might let you have some iron up in there. Ain't nobody stabbing nobody up in there. They so bad up in there that they're like, yo, the prisoners probably don't even try to hurt nobody, man. They're like, yo, listen, we done, we got caught, we in here.
Yeah.
It ain't like here in America running down, people playing Crips and Bloods in jail and all that other stuff.
No. Everybody on the same
Russia, they turtle squad is serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they send the turtles in, it's a wrap.
Yep.
I wonder if they got dirt cells, like the floors.
Oh, they said the conditions
are
deplorable.
Caves up in there, man.
Conditions are deplorable.
Yeah.
You seen the bed that she had to sleep in?
We used to do prison, man.
She's 6'8", man. The thing look like a toddler bed, man.
You know how many big tall niggas is in the penitentiary in America that nobody cares about their complaints about the bed.
It's a fact. It's a whole fact.
Nobody cares.
Listen, man. I was watching Locked Up Abroad one time, and they had the Chinese prison. They had the Chinese out there cutting grass with their hands.
They
had them breaking blades of grass.
Whoa. Whoa.
They're breaking blades of grass with their hands.
Yeah, you never
on the
seen
ground, man.
Nah,
man,
never
look it
seen
up.
that.
I encourage everybody listening. Look it up. And what happens is that even when they describe
stay in school,
these prisons outside is different.
When they describe being in prison there.
Don't play around with that passport.
They was like, they asked the prisoners, like, what do you think? And they were saying with a smile on their face, it's not that bad here. You know, they were conditioned to say, like, yo, like this. And I mean, they're looking at it like this summer camp. But they mowing grass.
What's funny is because they got the
sheets?
camera in front of them. They got the camera in front of them, and they got the guards behind them, and they ask the questions. They're like, yeah, we're having a great time.
That was real. And then they had the way that they have to fold their sheets and stuff have to be like a perfect small box. So imagine you getting a big bed sheet and it has to be folded down to almost like the size of a cable box or something. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
And you know, they probably made her situation even worse because they wanted their man out of jail too. They was like, man, give her the worst cell in here, man. Put her outside. Let her sleep outside.
Honestly, I thought how would it work? How would it work for her? Because in all honesty, you black. That's number one. You female and you gay. Like, so how does that work in a Russian penal colony? You know what I mean?
They gave her the little people bed.
Nah,
they gave her. Everybody
they gave her the regular standard bed that they issue to everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
She probably got all kinds of back problems right now.
Well, anyway, she's home.
I forget that whole thing. Was she like smoking weed or trying to bring some weed back in the country?
Yeah, she had some vape cartridges. I think the bigger deal is that the fact that the WNBA players got to go overseas to actually make money and play basketball where they actually can't make a living, you know, pursuing their craft in America.
They could not get me on that plane ever.
That's another
again.
question I will pose to y'all. How long do you think before she get back in the swing of things?
Is that how she got over there?
Yeah, that's why she was over there.
Yeah, she was actually over there playing. But I mean,
her season just finished and she was about to come home.
She's about to come home. Yeah.
I mean, truth be told, if you need to stop that. You shouldn't have put that on. You get it when you get home.
Now,
man.
listen.
Just find it when you get home.
Do you think this is an argument for them to get more money now so they won't have to go overseas?
I mean, That game ain't exciting. Nobody really. I mean, give us a better product and we'll pay for it.
That, man.
Yeah, nobody's watching it, but I'm just saying, like, do you think it's a spark to change?
I'm gonna give you the answer to this right here, man. You know
if Brittney Griner can dunk from the foul line, we'll watch.
I'm gonna tell you who gave the best answer to this whole thing, how to help the WNBA. Shaq Diesel. He said, lower the rims. Lower the rims. That way they can dunk a little bit more. Nobody don't want to see no basketball when nobody don't dunk. Yeah, Shaq said, lower the rims.
Yeah,
I said, yo, that's
even when you at the park.
When
you at the park, you like, yo, I want to see somebody, you know? If they ain't dunking out here, why am I even out here?
Shaq and my thoughts have not aligned over the last couple of weeks, but
Shaq said lower the rims.
No, you know what though? No. You cannot lower those rims for women because they are equal, and you can. You cannot make them feel less than what they are. You have to give them equal treatment.
Equal treatment.
Gotta give them equal treatment.
Equal treatment. So,
yeah, man. Oh, Brittney, listen, I don't know why you even decide to smoke weed overseas. And I'm gonna tell you something. Anybody that's ever been overseas and had a passport, as soon as you get a passport and you go to one of these weirdo countries or whatever, like I went to Mexico. As soon as I went to Mexico, I went in a hotel. They told me to put my passport in a hotel safe, and it was like once you put it in the safe, you know what I mean, you got to keep it there because if you go outside in Mexico and you're hanging around, like the police will ask you for your passport, and if you give them the passport, then what they'll do is sometimes they'll extort you to get your passport back. From that point on, when they explained that to me in the hotel, I was on tense from the beginning. You know what I mean?
And that's Mexico.
That's Mexico.
It's warm over there.
Yeah, I
don't care if it's I don't care if it's on the beach, brother. It's still prison. I'm not going.
I feel you. It's a difference. It's a difference when you can run around in a t-shirt and when you sit there like, yo, I'm gonna die. My hands are gonna fall off. It's so cold.
Yeah, sweating.
Then I also watched Locked Up Abroad in Mexico. So I don't know. That's kind of tough too, man. Yeah, let me tell you, Mexico and Locked Up Abroad, they got a whole city, right? They don't even have a prison. They had a whole city where it was like a square block footage, like you can imagine in Philadelphia. Like they just took off 8 blocks and just stoned around the city. And when you walk into the joint, you just walk into a city, and you get in where you fit in. You gotta find a spot where you at. You get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? If you gotta lay on the street, you gotta find you a little nook in the wall or something like that, man. It's
Moral of the story: do not get locked up abroad.
Yeah, and they had guards walking around on the
coming to get block. You was not Brittney. They not coming for you.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, and
or either you better be married to the same sex. It's the only way you're getting out of there, man. If you got a hope for the NAACP or one of these people get it, you can wrap it all up, man.
Speaking of being locked up abroad, salute the Chancellor K. Jack, brother that I interviewed in the earlier stages of this day, man, and he was actually locked up in China, in Beijing, China. Black man.
God bless him.
Black man. He's doing his thing, but black man locked up in Beijing. He wrote a book about it. Suggest y'all check that book out, man. It's crazy.
Go to Florida, man. Don't be taking these trips, man. Go to Florida, man. Enjoy yourself in Florida. Stay in Miami, man.
And the brother was a teacher, man. He was a teacher out there in Beijing and just got caught up. And if you actually listen to the story, like he was doing his thing, he's doing his thing. He was like, he was out there, he was getting ready to go out, he was pre-gaming or whatever, and he said the cop showed up at the door. He said, but what happens is Beijing police showed up at the door, but he don't speak Mandarin at that. You know what I mean? Like he's learning as he go. But long short of it is, not to tell the brother's story, but he ended up signing the paper, and then he's thinking that's it. I just signed the paper. It's a little fine like it is in the States. Said next thing I know, they drive me. I'm handcuffed to a steel chair. You know what I mean?
No.
So, I suggest y'all go back.
That don't sound good at all.
No, not at all. Please go back and listen to this brother's story.
When they handcuff you to anything, you're going to be here for a while.
The book is called 14 Days in Beijing. Go back and listen to this interview that I did with Chancellor K. Jackson, man. Interesting story, brother.
Yeah, they handcuff you to a bitch or something out there in China or Mexico or Russia. You just start crying automatically.
Yo, honestly, and he's out there.
Just break down.
Salute, champ. Salute. Because I'm like, during the interview, I'm asking him that. I'm thinking like, what's he say? He said, it looks like what they locked, like what they had him handcuffed to, like almost like an electric chair. You know?
No.
Please go back. I'm not doing it any justice, folks. Go back and listen to that interview. You know, we gotta have Chance back on, man, because that was
what's that movie where they like the dude in there with the homosexual man?
Oz?
The comedy movie where my man is just sitting there and he's scared to move in the cell.
That was Star Crazy, wasn't it? Yeah. That was Star Crazy. Yeah. No, he didn't lock him. They didn't lock Rich in there with the homeless. He was in there with the big boy.
Put him in there with Rosenberger.
Yeah.
He was like
Rosenberger.
When they brought Gene Wilder back to the prison, he was like, "Don't move, don't move."
I thought you were like, you ever see like Midnight Express when the boy got locked up in Turkey?
Oh yeah.
And he's beating his feet.
Oh man.
Anyway, so look, before we get ready to wrap up.
He's in there crying.
Viktor Bout said that as he was being exchanged his words to Brittney Griner, he was like, as he's passing, he said he wished her luck. She sort of even reached out. I knew he was gonna laugh. He wished her luck. She even sort of reached out her hand to me. And he said again, this is a tradition. You should wish everyone good fortune and happiness.
He said on February 2nd, 2023, do not be anywhere in Florida. It's a tidbit to you.
All right, y'all, let's get out of here.
Don't be nowhere in Florida. I got plans for Florida on February 2nd.
Allegedly. We don't know what Viktor got going on.
I like to call it Grenade Sunday.
Oh, no. On that note, the Only One Mic podcast is available on all major platforms that you stream your podcast on. Check out our Only One Mic podcast.
Don't be anywhere in Florida.
Right, look, FBI got access to YouTube just like we do. Look, we on YouTube. Check out the past and current episodes. Don't forget to rate the show and subscribe. Instagram and
Sunday.
Twitter. Only One Mic podcast. The Only One Mic P1 on Instagram and Twitter.
Grenade
Facebook
Cake
and LinkedIn.
Sunday.
The Only One Mic podcast. You can email us, the onlyonemike00@gmail.com. Yo, thank you again for your time, yo. Peace. Speak your truth quietly and clearly. Listen to others. You listen to others and don't look ignorant because they too have their story to tell. Look.
What's funny, she probably passed it like, who's this?
No, she's saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all did what?
Yeah. Let's get out of here, man. So until next time, please keep in mind we never had to run from the Ku Klux Klan, so we shouldn't have to run from a black man. Peace.
Stay out of them foreign countries.
Yeah, stay out of them foreign countries.